You want to get right into it?
Yeah, let's go.
We've revealed 2 already on PFT, right? So 2 are out there, but we're going to reveal 2 more in your top 40 after that.
Okay.
So we'll start.
Start with 40, though?
Well, first, let's start with people who you left off. Blake Bortles is still not in the top 40.
Yeah, Blake Bortles is still not on the list. He just missed off. I mean, really, I think realistically.
Has he moved up from 70?
Definitely. And I had made comments last year, I made the saying that he was 70 and made that list even before they made the playoff run that year. Okay, so he had probably jumped up a few rankings if I had to make a new list later in that year. But, yes, he just misses out. There's no Teddy Bridgewater. Alex Smith, I didn't put him on the list with his injury situation, things like that. I just didn't feel comfortable there, and I don't know if he's ever going to play football again. He didn't make the list. So those are maybe the biggest names per se that are out there that I think people might expect to be on here but didn't make the cut.
We do have some new draftees that made the top 40.
I did. I put some of the new draftees. It's projecting. I understand that, but I feel comfortable about ranking some of these guys in front of some of these backups or whoever may be out there. Yes, I do.
One of those was not Daniel Jones. He did not make the top
Daniel
40.
Jones did not make the list, but it was very close. Again, he was another guy that, yes, I should have brought his name up. That was definitely in the running with the Bridgewaters, the Alex Smiths, the Blake Bortles, to where I just thought, ooh, he's right there in that category with those people.
All right, should we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.
40?
Number 40?
Number 40.
Number 40.
Chris Sims top 40 quarterback countdown is
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor.
Tyrod Taylor. And, listen, Tyrod Taylor, he's done a lot of good things through his career. Certainly has. Kind of been a career journeyman, Baltimore, goes up to Buffalo, does some things there, goes to Cleveland last year, has a decent little start to the year. But, again, I think Tyrod Taylor, the reason he's at number 40, one, he is a game manager. And that's a good thing and a bad thing. But I think it's a really good thing when you're a backup quarterback. I don't know if it's necessarily a good thing when you're the starting quarterback. When you're a game manager and you're starting quarterback, guys always go, or the coaches or personnel people always go, I think we could do a little bit better here. We could find somebody. So, to me, Tyrod Taylor, he does have a strong arm. He's got a pretty quick release. Of course, he's a good athlete and extend plays that way. The biggest issue I have with Tyrod Taylor is truly his throwing and ability to make big throws within the pocket down the field. You've heard me say this a little off the air, and this is something that's very important to me as far as evaluating quarterbacks. Anybody out there listening or paying attention, the bottom stat line for a quarterback does not say it all. I use this example for you. It's about what's there to be had on a weekly basis. And I think that's the reason Tyrod Taylor's probably found himself in the backup position. He didn't take advantage of what was always there to be had. We saw Baker Mayfield come in for him last year, and what happened right away? Jets game. All of a sudden, it was like zing, 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 ball being down the field. It wasn't like they weren't calling those plays with Tyrod Taylor. No, it was Tyrod Taylor's non-aggressive style of play that led them to never hit some of those passes. We saw Baker Mayfield come in, who had a different mentality. It was just like, I see a window, zoom, I'm throwing it in there. Oh, there's another one, zoom, I'm throwing it in there. Tyrod Taylor, because maybe he was brought up in Baltimore and Buffalo a little bit,
he didn't want to make the mistake.
No mistakes, play through the defense, take care of the football. And, hey, like I said, it's a good thing for a backup, but it's not always a great thing for a starter to play that style because you are going to leave plays and yards on the field out there.
So it'll be interesting now. Chargers signed him to a 2-year deal, $11 million, $6 million guaranteed. That's quite a bit of money for a backup quarterback, for a guy, a backup to Phillip Rivers, who I know he's played a ton. I guess the average backup for the Chargers has averaged 5 attempts per year since 2006 when Phillip took over, and Phillip has not missed a start since taking over. So chances are they won't have to use Tyrod.
No.
But they have perhaps the best safety net in football in Tyrod Taylor.
Listen, as I sit here and talk about Tyrod Taylor, do I sit here and go, I probably could have ranked him a little higher? I'm not even going to lie. If I was going to self-scout myself right away.
You're already questioning. We're into the first one. You're already questioning.
You're right. Well, I am a little bit that way. I know you don't know me that well yet, but I'm always picking at it myself. I mean, whether I get done with this show, the PFT show in the morning, and this one's is iffy, certainly. I get it. But to your point with the Chargers, I think we have to hit on that. And I think that's a good topic to hit on at some point here during the offseason. But they got a Super Bowl caliber football team. Do you really want to risk it if Phillip Rivers finally did go down and have some backup that's never played in any big moments or has, no experience at all? So to me, that was a brilliant signing by them. Here's a guy that started a playoff game. He's played in a lot of big football games. He's certainly been around the block. To me, to where that made a lot of sense in making that move. And you're right. I mean, it probably won't play because Phillip Rivers is a tough SOB, and he's not tough like quarterback now tough. I look at Phillip Rivers and go, like in the 70s and 80s, he would have been tough for that era too at quarterback. He's that kind of guy.
You see it a lot too in baseball, and it makes a whole lot of sense. The smart teams will do that. They'll look at their roster and they'll go, okay, we have an elite center fielder. We have nothing behind him.
Yeah, right.
And so where are we most vulnerable?
Yes.
Where could it go wrong for us? And I guess for most teams, that is the quarterback position.
Right.
If your quarterback gets hurt, for most teams, it could really go south. But yeah, they've made the decision that we're going to protect ourselves a little bit here.
Well, yeah, and just you don't want it to go too far south. Like you said, your point is right. You're going to go south a little. There's a reason the guy's the starter and the guy's the backup, but you don't want it to have to go so south that you're going, holy cow, we have to totally change the style of play on the offensive side of the ball because this guy's so much less than our starter that we can't even do the same things on offense anymore. And I think that's kind of what you're saying there.
I was looking through some of his stats in 2017, lowest interception percentage in the league, and that's kind of talks to your point about taking the safer route, which maybe was what they said in Buffalo.
Yeah, it was certainly style of play. Yes,
the offense, but I covered Tyrod. I worked in Norfolk, Virginia, in that Hampton Roads area for like 5 years. I covered Tyrod Taylor in high school when he was playing for Hampton Crabbers and Mike Smith.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Went to play for Frank Beamer at Virginia Tech. I covered him over there too. He is. I mean, here's the thing: we got the 40 top quarterbacks in the NFL.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, the guy's down 40. Okay, they're okay. I mean, he was so good, and he is so good, obviously.
Right.
He was so good in high school. No one even could come close to him. He could do whatever he wanted. He could throw it. He could run. He could probably run for 300 yards every single game in high school. He was that dynamic of an athlete. He wasn't up there. It was just recently after Michael Vick played in the NBA.
Right.
It wasn't quite that, and so I think that
it almost hurt his luster a little in Virginia.
It really did.
Because he was an athletic quarterback, but not compared to Michael Vick.
I mean, no one is compared to Michael Vick.
Right.
So it almost did hurt him.
I know. I agree.
Like, hey, he's pretty good.
Right.
He's not Michael Vick. Like, no one is Michael Vick. Tyrod Taylor is so good. And so, I mean, coming out of high school, he was the top dual threat quarterback ranked. And so he's been on the radar for a long time.
He has.
And so Tyrod Taylor is 40. Maybe needs to be a little more aggressive if given the chance. And if he does that, he can move up on this list.
He could move up.
But he probably won't play.
Probably won't.
Okay, so that's number 40, Tyrod Taylor.
And we hope not he doesn't play because I'm like Phillip Rivers. I'm almost John Elwaying him this year, like where I want to see like this one's for John.
Yeah, if Phillip Rivers stays healthy with the team that's around him, they are a legitimate Super Bowl contending title team.
I believe so. Yes, they are. Now, the AFC West is real, and I get that. But, I look at the pieces on the Chargers and go, I would be shocked if they're not at least in the playoff convo in December. And really, I would be shocked, really, if they didn't make the playoffs in general.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.